Hello, everyone. How are you guys today? So let me know if you can see me and hear me, and we'll let a few people join before I get started. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And this is my Christmas gift to you, showing you my little tips on how I did these ornaments. Okay. And my husband's helping me, so if there's any questions, he'll read those off to me, and if I miss one, I'll go back at the end of the video and answer those for you. Okay. So be sure and say something so I know you're out there.
There's only 2 people on.
2 people? Okay. It'll take a minute for folks to get on. I know a lot of people were thinking I was already on. So it's always Central Time, guys. I am in Texas. So Central Time Zone is, yes. Question? Okay. Sorry. Oh, he's telling me how many. So yeah, we're getting a few more people coming on. Hi, Debbie. So I had a lot of people ask me how I was doing these. A lot of people have ordered ornaments, which I'm marathon painting the last 24 hours or so. Some of you are from Donna Dewberry's Facebook page. I had posted these on there and had an overwhelming, I am so humbled. Everybody has just went crazy over them. So I appreciate all your comments, and hopefully this will show you how you can use your FolkArt multi-surface paint and your treasure gold colors. That's my goal. These are not anything to do with my company. Colors for Earth is a fired kiln product. We have glass colors that are kiln fired and ceramic colors. And then I have a brush company, Kala Brush. So this has nothing to do with that. I am going to use a few of my brushes, and then I use some of Donna Dewberry's brushes. So I can't go live on her page due to, reasons. But anyway, I'm here, and you can share this video to your page to save it, share it with your friends. And I do have, I think, one other acrylic one on my YouTube channel, but mainly I am fired product and my products. But everybody, like I said, overwhelming response. So I just wanted to share a few of these things with you. So welcome. Hey, Miss Lori Stewart. Hey, Janice. Okay, so from London. Oh my gosh. Hi there. She found me. Yay. She was asking, did I miss you? How do I? Yeah. So when I go live, I usually announce it an hour and a half to 2 hours before. Every other Tuesday night, I do lives on my products. And next Tuesday will be one of those. And actually, I'm probably going to go live every Tuesday. Every other one will be glass related products, kiln fired products. And then the other Tuesdays will be ceramic kiln fired products. Now, you can use these products that I'm showing you today on your ceramic. So if you have a ceramic ornament, you can definitely put this on those, okay? You would base coat them, or you could even glaze them and then put this on top. So I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and get started, okay? Now that we have a few people on. Hold on one second. All right, so what I've got here are my little jewels that I put on afterwards, okay? So, well, and some of them beforehand. So I have these scroll work, and these are just, they're in the scrapbooking department, okay? Bling stickers, okay? They come in different colors. You can find them in the scrapbook, mainly at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, but any other craft, place that you shop should have something similar, or you can find them online. So you can do colors, you could do, I had some that I did with pearls, okay? And then these are just a, what I call a clear or more of a silver. I've done the snowflakes before. So what I'm going to show you is how I start these ornaments. I've got a couple here to start. Some of them that are larger, I start by putting the bling on first. And then the smaller ones, I usually paint and just put in some little jewels, or this one has pearls on it that I do last. Okay. All right. So let me make sure that light is not. All right. So let's do a green one. All right. So I cut these apart to get the most out of my money. I also use these, those of you that have done my paste ornaments with me, I use them on those also. Like here's one of my paste ornaments. This is our low fire, no fire piping paste. And I start with the bling and then I do all the paste. I did a webinar on these recently. So if you're interested in that, there's also some free videos on my YouTube channel to get you started on that. But that is one of my products. Okay, so like this one here, I can get 2 areas and it really depends on how large the ornament is. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of cut these apart. And Bert will tell me if there's any questions. These jewels are, or bling, whatever you want to call them, are on a sticky backing. So I'm not sticking these on individually. Okay, they're all going to just come off of there and go right on the ornament. All right, so this happens to be a, it's a glass ornament, okay? And what I did was I poured in a little bit of this Beacon Glitter It. One of the ladies from our webinar told me about it, and so I went online and bought some. So I poured that on the inside, swirled it around, and then I have some, just, you can buy all different colors of glitter. I'm sure a lot of you probably have it at home. This is one I believe I bought at Hobby Lobby. You know, Amazon has a lot of things too. A lot of times I like to look at it in person to make sure it's what I want. So you would just pour the glue into your ornament. And then what I do is I have a little funnel that I also bought, and I believe that was on Amazon. And I'll put some of the glitter in a cup and then I pour it in there, twist it around, and then you can dump out your excess. So that's how those are done. It's very easy. I'm sure that most of you have probably done those things before. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. And this one, it just says chunky glitter. It's kind of a mother, it's called Glitz Brilliant, is that one. Okay, actually this is made by a company in Irving, which is here in Texas, not too far from me. Okay, so that's how I did that. So that's what this looks like. So you just keep rolling the glue in there, dump out the excess, and I just put it on one of the little cups, you know, and let it drain. I didn't have anything that drained out. That particular glue is really thin. You could use like a clear Elmer's glue also. Okay, then I go in and put the glitter in it and I tap out all the excess and then just leave it sitting there to dry before I put the cap back on it. All right, let me get that out of the way.
Rosalind wants to know if you like the Glitter It.
The Glitter It, I'm not sure I'm familiar with. You'll have to tell me what that is, Roz. I'm going to put green on this particular one. So these are on a sticky and they stick to your fingers really well. I like to start my design at the top. Bert, let me know if I'm off camera or anything, okay? Glitter It, is that a paint or a, I'm not sure. Okay, so because these are longer and larger, I'm going to use 2 sections.
The glue you used inside from Amazon.
It's called, yes, I do like it. It's almost like a, I didn't smell it, but it appears to me like a thin super glue maybe, although I didn't have any problem with my hands or anything. It is a little pricey. Actually, I think Luann and I found that Walmart had it online cheaper than what Amazon. I think Amazon, the shipping was going to be, believe it or not, like $11 or something. I don't remember. It was crazy. So I just kept searching till I found one that, let's see, I got it all over me now.
Joanna wants to know if you thinned your glue.
The Glitter It that I was using, it didn't require any kind of thinning. So but I would thin it with a little bit of water. You just want it to have enough tack that it's going to allow that glitter to, I've got a piece here that is driving me crazy. Okay, we'll just, all right, so just press those down and just be careful. You know, some of these bulbs, this is the smallest one that I use. These are frosted glass already, which are very hard to find right now. I couldn't find anything yesterday or the day before when I went to find stuff. And they're very thin. I've had some of them break on me, and actually I had one this morning break. So I'm very cautious. These big ones, I've had them break in my hand. So I will not I won't ship any of these. These will have to be people that are locally, and I've only got a couple of those left. Okay. All right, so let's put this one on this side. So you can see how you can just be very creative. If you don't have the ones with the sticky backing, could you come in there and glue them on individually? You could, but boy, that's a lot of time, and you would have to charge more for it because there's a lot more work involved in that. You can see they're very sticky. Okay.
I think Janet's wanting to know, where did you get the rhinestone stick-ons?
Okay, so Janet is asking where I got these. They are, most of mine come from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I watch for sales. Use your 40 off coupon is another good way to get that paper studio ones. These were half off when I was, whichever store, I think it was at Hobby Lobby. So they were only $4, and there is 495 pieces in this particular one. There's small, medium, and large little pearls, and then I did get just your regular sequence ones. Also, you can get them in, you know, look for your Best Buy. There is multicolored ones. I don't think I used any of those yesterday when I was doing things. There is, you know, Paper Studio also. This I found, I believe, on Joanne's website. I was telling my webinar people, these don't have sticky on them, but they are great colors. And so when you're doing these, if you're using them for the add-ons at the very end, like these here, then just use a dot of your clear glue. It's the problem, you know, just your clear Elmer's will work. Put you some in a little cup and use a toothpick to put a dot on, and then put these on. They just take more time, and you're only going to be able to do one side and let those dry so they don't slip, you know, and run on the sides. Okay. So that's the disadvantage to that. Okay, so the larger ones, I put the bling on there first. I'm going to get rid of, and you can see I try to center it. Okay. Here is one that these are really cool. They're flat. Okay, can you see that? So they're like I don't know if this is a 4-inch. There's two sizes that I found. Yeah, these are 4-inch, and then there are some that are like 3-inch. Okay. These are fun to do. They're a little bit easier when you're first starting with your painting because it's a flat, it's not a curved surface. So I'll do some work on those too to show you some things. So you can see how I put the bling on there first, and I just did it down one side. This one I've started with some leaves. So I've got some things in different steps so that I can show you hopefully the complete process. Okay. And again, I'm just using the little cups to set them in, because once I start painting, I don't want to hold, and you have to work on multiples. Well, you don't have to, but I do. I work on 6 to 10 at a time to make use of my time while things are drying. Okay. So that is, hold on. Somebody's asking a question. Hopefully it's hard for me. I'm not going to be able to type in if you're trying to message me or anything. So this is always on my page. Did you have a question, Bert?
Where did you find the flat bulbs?
I found these 2 places, both Hobby Lobby and Michael's. But Michael's the other day had a kit with these small ones in it. And I believe there was 24 or 36 in it. And it had multiple colors of glitter that came in it too. I think it retailed at $36, but it was all 50 off. So that's pretty good. Okay, so this one I've got some little pearls on both sides, and I'm going to show you how I start painting on those. Okay. All right. So let me start with, and the little ones, I'm just going to start with some flowers. Okay. Like I did on this particular one. I have somebody that wants 8 of these. So I'm going to just demonstrate and get some of my orders filled at the same time. Okay. All right. Let me get some color here. So I'm using FolkArt Multi-Surface color. If you are on a matte finish, you can actually take and draw a pattern on there with chalk very lightly. So if I needed to, what I like to do is I draw a Y, and I think you can see that. Yes. And then the 2 large sections, I divide in half, and now I have a perfect 5-petal flower. So that's just a guide for me to go off of. I know some of you asked for patterns. I can draw out some designs and put it as a picture on my page, and then you can download it from there. But it's hard to transfer a design to a round surface, so I don't know that that's going to help you. But if you're just wanting something to look at, then that'll work for you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with the flowers on this one, and I used FolkArt Multi-Surface colors. They have a sealer in them, so that's what makes them shiny. You can kind of see that shine on that. This is baby pink. And then I'm going to use berry wine. Same thing, FolkArt Multi-Surface. Sure I am. I've used a lot of this one, so I got to shake it down. Okay. And then I'm going to put some white out because occasionally I will tip into white and do some strokes also. All right. So I'm going to try to somewhat keep this in view. It's going to be hard. Let me just get rid of one of those. Any questions, Bert?
No, one comment. Beverly Solon says pictures would be a great help. I don't know.
The pictures of the ornaments or the designs. Yeah. I'll put what I'll do is I'll put the picture of like these at the top of the page, and then I'll sketch out some designs for you at the bottom, scan it in, and I'll upload it to Facebook for you. Okay. All right. So I'm using a 12 flat or a square shader. And always dampen your brush, blot it on a paper towel. Okay, so I've got one off to the side here. And I like to pick up my light color first and work that into, I got a hair there, into my brush. And then I'm going to catch or side load into that berry wine and working it back and forth to get it into the brush. Sometimes the lighter colors need a little bit of white to make them more opaque. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to keep the light to the outside that you can see on this ornament here. Okay. So I'm just going to press down and do a 1 stroke, or what we call, what I've called for years in ceramics and glass is a ripple or an M stroke, because you're kind of going in an M shape. Okay. So remember I drew this out with the chalk in a Y shape. That's exactly how I'm going to paint it. It's easier for me. And I like to pretty much load after each one, each petal, and leave room in the middle for your center. Okay, you can see that the center is here. It'll cover, but if you can leave a little bit of room, that's nice. I'm gonna grab a little bit more white, work that in, make sure the lighter color is on the outside, and just wave it. Okay. How many people we got, Bert?
37.
Oh, nice. So hi, guys. Happy holidays. Hope you're having a good one, even though we are in this pandemic. And that one kind of came off a little bit, so I'm going to go over it just a little bit more. Okay, so then I would set this down and let that dry. Okay, so let's do that again so that you can see it. Work that in. And I'm just going to wing it on this one. I'm not going to sketch it on, but you'll notice that I'm going to paint it in that Y shape. And that helps me stay, I guess it would depend on how many petals you wanted on your flower also. I'm going to go over here and do my Y.
Teresa getting wants to know where you got your palette.
This is Donna Dewberry's. I encourage all of you to go to her website, and I'll ask Bert to type it into the comments. It is onestroke.com. So www.onestroke.com. And, you know, buy from small businesses. It's, it will, pardon?
O-N-E?
O-N-E, yeah, S-T-R-O-K-E. onestroke.com. And purchase from her. I do not carry these. Like I said, this has nothing to do with my company. I'm just doing this because you guys were asking, and I wanted to share with you. Okay. All right. So I've still got quite a bit of pink out here. So this one just has the silver on it, or the clear jewels. So we're going to do a flower on here also, so that I can use some of this product. Donna also has a Facebook page, which is Donna Dewberry's Official One Stroke is the name of it. You can ask to join. She does live videos. Right now, I think they're doing every day, but they do once or twice a week all the time. She also has a YouTube channel that she does Wednesday and Friday. She does some skill builders on Fridays that she posts out there. And then Wednesday morning, she has a relax and paint. So I encourage you, if you're doing any acrylic painting or you just want to learn, definitely subscribe to her channel and click the bell so that you'll know when she goes live. She also has a lot of online downloadable lessons on her website that are really great, or you can buy pattern packets, but she does have kits of color, and a lot of times on her Facebook page, she will have specials when she does the lives. So take advantage of those, okay?
Chris wants to know if these are all glass from this theory.
Chris, actually, these flat ones are plastic. I have not found them in glass, but this is the other ones are glass. The frosted ones are a frosted glass, yes. And I need to find, and maybe somebody knows, a product that I can take a clear and create that frosted look. I tried one this morning with something I had, and I wasn't happy with it, but it also is cool outside, so that could be it. Yes, another question?
No, just hang on.
Okay. All right, so I've showed you the 5 petals, so I'm going to put another, like a bud over here, and I'm going to pretend that this is the stem. So I'm just going to start here, and all a bud is just a couple of petals, okay?
Teresa Ann says, Donna says they sell a paint that makes the frost look.
Okay, there is one, and I haven't tried it. I thought I had it sitting out here. It's for the glass, because Donna has what she, FolkArt Plaid, has what they call enamels, okay? But those of you that are my fired people, don't get it confused, because her enamels are a non-fired product. You bake them in the oven, okay? I was going to show you something I did, but I can't, because if my son watches this, he will see his gift. On the Donna Dewberry board, I painted some things for my kids that are getting married on Tuesday. So anyway, all right. So then I'm going to have to let this dry. So I'm going to just set it down. Okay. So let me get some green out, and I'll show you some leaves. So I've got a bunch of these ornaments in different stages. So hopefully you can see kind of how I build my designs. Now, this is just my way of doing it. It doesn't mean it's the right way. It's just what I find that works for me. Okay, once again, I'm going to grab a different brush that I've been using a lot of greens in. Wet the brush, blot it. You can still see my palette, right?
I can see your palette. I can't see you blotting your brush. No.
It's okay. I think they understand. You're just taking on a paper towel and just, you know, blotting out the water. Okay, there's a lot of, like I said, other videos out there to do different things. Okay, so someone had asked me for some blue. So I've got, this is the Blue Jewels. This blue is, if you want to know what it is, because these are, like I said, they're pretty standard at the craft stores. This is Prussian blue. It's a really dark, like a navy. And then I just used the wicker white with it. So it gave me a middle tone. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one, once again, I did some leaves first, did a couple of flowers on this side, but I don't have any leaves on this side. So I'm going to do that same loading. Can you still see my green? Load with the lighter green, and then just side load in that dark. Work that into the brush. I tend to keep the dark, if I'm doing these small leaves, I keep the dark up next to the flower, because that's where the shadow would be. So I'm going to go ahead and add another leaf here. And then just pull in a little stem. And I'm going to put a couple up here and go over the side. And maybe another one here. Whoops, no dark on that one. It's hard on that curved surface, so you know, you don't have to do them out there. I'm just showing you, and just watch where your fingers are. And then I'm just using the chisel edge, and I'm pulling. Most of the time I go back with, sometimes with the metallics, to do my center veins.
What colors do you recommend for the leaves?
Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. This is citrus green. And then I'm also using, you can use thicket or sap, either one. I just happen to have thicket out here. And again, everything is multi-surface, okay? So I'm gonna set this one down to dry. And then I'm gonna go over here. This one I've got flowers on. I'm gonna add some leaves. Yes?
So enamels don't work on glass unless you bake them?
These are not enamels that I'm using. So those of you that might have joined in late, this is only doing this because a lot of people were asking. These are all done with multi-surface acrylic paints that are non-fired products. So these are plastic ornaments. Now, the strokes that I'm doing, the technique can definitely be done on your glass, fired kiln glass, okay? You would do the same thing. I just finished a couple of webinars where I used the same similar leaves and petals using the designer products on the Colors for Earth website. And I'll have Bert type that in for you if you're new. Okay, so these are not enamels. These are just acrylics. Donna Dewberry has enamels, but they are a non-fired. They are not kiln fired. This is going to be confusing because most of you are from my fired market, okay? Anyway, if you have any questions, you can always message me or email me. My email was on the screen. I don't know if that it's up there. info@colorsforearth.com. And Bert can put these in the text, in the messages also, or ceramicsbypaula@gmail.com. ceramicsbypaula@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm going to start a leaf here. And I like this particular one to have the dark to the center, and I'm getting close. This is one of those smaller ornaments. This is the 3-inch. Flip the brush over and do the other side. It's that same stroke that we just did. Whoops, I got a curve here, but that's okay. There's a curve, so it's hard to do it. So it's the same ripple or M stroke that I did. It's just doing it with different colors is all it is, okay? So up here, let's just do a couple of small, what I call little wedge strokes. Okay, so it's just a press, pull, and a lift. And then you can pull in your stems. Okay, then this one's going to have to set aside. Now you know why I work on multiples, because if you don't, you have to sit there and wait for it to dry. Okay. So let's add, I think this one's pretty much dry. So see how I'm pivoting? I pivot the brush. The dark green stays on the inside and the light green stays on the outside. So if you needed to draw that shape in, you could with the chalk on these frosted ones. It's hard to draw with the chalk on the shiny ornaments. The chalk doesn't want to adhere to it. Okay, so this one I'm going to give a little, and it is hard to, I mean, you're on a curved surface, so sometimes, I hope that's not a crack. I see something right there. Okay. You know, and it probably would be a good idea to wipe your ornaments down with, probably just buff them with the, if they're real glass, you could clean them with alcohol. You get into these that are frosted or possibly those that have this shiny metallic on them, then, you know, any type of cleaner could start moving that around. But if you're just on clear glass, I would say alcohol and a paper towel would clean those. Yes.
Say something about the cups you're sitting over on the dry.
Oh, these are just little solo, you know, like the cups you get like marinara sauce from the pizza places. You can go to a restaurant supply company. I'm trying to think of what the name of ours is. I would just, I'm sure Amazon has them. They have everything, but solo, and this is a 2-ounce. And then I have one, this is a 4-ounce size here. So it's just larger, that sometimes I use for the large ones. Okay. So once again, I'm going to set that down to dry. And let me go ahead and do another one here, because I don't know how long you guys, I can sit here and paint all day, but you probably have other things to do. I was painting till it was almost, I think it was after midnight last night. Okay. Pull that stem in. Let's do that wedge stroke. So just a little press and lift. Sometimes there's, and I did not, I can tell you that I did not clean these ornaments. I just do as I say, not as I do. Isn't that the rule of thumb? And you could change and go to a smaller brush. I tend to just keep using what I've got. And the more you do, you'll be able to do those strokes. What are you laughing at? I'm trying to find one that I've already got here. That okay, so I want to put a couple more leaves on this one. And Miss Teresa Maynard, if you're watching, this is one of your ornaments you have ordered. Is she out there?
I
haven't seen her. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put another leaf out here. Flip the brush over. You can go right on top of your Ace or AC Moore is another craft store on the East Coast.
No, Ace Restaurant Supplies.
Ace Restaurant. There you go. Thank you. I couldn't remember. That's what ours is. But like I said, I'm sure that you can find them on Amazon also. Okay. Just keep track of where you're painting, and so you don't put your fingers in it. So just a ripple, M stroke, wiggle stroke, one stroke. Everybody calls it something different. See, I'm pivoting. So I try to fill in, you can see this one's pretty full. I don't remember where I'm at. So I think in a minute, I'll show you how I finish that one and when it dries. Okay. So this one we started, we added a few. This is also Miss Teresa, one of yours. I figured I might as well make use of my time and show you the same, show you what you're wanting to know, and then get my orders done also. Okay, so this one is Violet Pansy. You could use it with the light lavender. I'm going to start out with just white with it because, like I said, when you add the white, you're going to get that middle tone, and I think it'll work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to grab my purple, add my white on the side, work that into my brush, and grab a little bit more white. So I'm going to get, you can see in the middle there, that is close to that color, but you could always use that if you wanted it more purple than the white on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to put a large flower right here on this one. Okay, we'll see how this looks. And another trick is I start near where that design is because I need to make sure that I'm not gonna, if you don't want to have to go over it possibly. So I believe Donna, I know Donna calls that the shell stroke. And like I said, from my world, I'm used to calling it the M stroke or the wiggle stroke. So once again, I'm going to go with a 5-petal flower, grab those colors, work it in. So I like to load each time, especially on this type of surface, because there's nothing to absorb the color, like your canvases, your paper, wood will absorb the color. This is real slick, so that's why I'm loading for every stroke. So there's one of your tips, okay? Grab your color, work that in. Press, 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 press. So I'm just lifting up a little bit as I do the pressure. I'll show you from the side here, okay? So press and lift, press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. Okay. So while we got this going, I'm going to come over here and do a bud as it's going to be coming off of this here. And you can do the buds. Teresa did not want roses. She just wanted flowers on this one. But I can show you on one of the other ones, the little rosebud. And you can do these, just leave it with the 2, or you can come back and add another small one right on top as it's gathered and coming open, okay? So I'm gonna set that one down. I have a smaller purple here. And I'm gonna look at which side I have more room on. So I've got a little bit more room. Yeah. I think I'll just do buds on this one. So I don't plan this out. It's just whatever feels right, looks right to me, and I start doing it. So that ripple stroke, get more color on your brush. So when you're doing it, you're coming up to what is the chisel edge, okay, to come off. And I'm going to start doing a little more brush strokes with my normal group, whether it be, so see that's just kind of coming off of that jewel. So that's kind of nice. Doing some more either webinars or free brush stroke type things for you also. And I hope I hit record. Did I, Bert? I think I did. I was like, uh-oh, did I record it? What I was going to say is I will.
I tell someone you're going to repost this.
Well, this will stay on my page, so you'll find it on there. That's not a problem. It's normally, since I'm using Zoom, I can go back and I'm going to have to wait. And I'll edit and put it on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait on that one. I don't want to mess that up. Okay, so.
Did you show them how you put the glitter inside them? I
talked about it. Was that a question?
Well, somebody was wanting to know
if you
could rewatch it so she could see how you did that, but you didn't show
that. So. No, but let me, while I'm allowing that to dry just a minute, I can do that. Let me get a plate to catch everything. I'll have glitter everywhere. I have a station set up on the other side of the room where I was doing this, but we can do it here. And okay, so this is just one. This is a really tiny ornament. Okay, so I'm using Glitz Brilliant. This is just a Recollections, is another scrapbooking company. So this is used in a lot of scrapbook stuff. I think it was Hobby Lobby. I think I said that earlier where I bought this. Okay. And then during one of my other webinars, when I did my paste ornaments, this is the paste, okay, ornaments, they said to use this Beacon Glitter It. It's just a clear glue, and I'm almost out of it because I've done tons of these with the with this one, you can see. And I'll have to go back and count and see how many I've got, but I think I've done, you can see there's about a third of it left. I think I did 15 or so far of it. Okay, so all right, so I need a cup for glue. So take your top off. And this is just a liquid. It's a clear, and I think it's almost like a thin down, what I was telling them, super glue is what it reminds me of. So it's sitting down there, so I'm going to roll it around. And kind of, I just turn it a little bit, circle it to cover the most area quickly. You want to find the quickest way to do it. And then as you get close, and I know you guys, it's going to be hard to see, get close to the opening, okay, you want to just kind of keep it real still and make sure you get the glue up there because you need it covered also. Okay, once you go all the way around it, then start dumping it out and still turn so that it comes out. Now this one's got a little bit of lip on the inside, so I'm going to shake it and get that liquid out. And then what I do is use this liquid to pour into the next one, okay? All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of those out. And this has got a sprinkle end and then just a open, like a spoon would fit in there. These little, there was 2 in a package, one a little bit smaller. Funnels are on, and I still see quite a bit of liquid, so I'm going to quickly try to get that out of there. Amazon, I'm sure the craft stores have them too. So I use that to get it into the bulb. And then again, just spin it around. Then I'm going to use one of the cups to pour out the excess. And it looks like I need more. It's easier to do it out of the cup than it is out of that container because I can take my cup and bend it to get it into my funnel and make it easier. So they have all different types of glitter out there. So this was just a neutral, it's kind of a mother of pearl type effect. And I thought it would go well with any colors of jewels, any colors of flowers that I put on there or whatever I'm putting. I had requests to do butterflies on some too. So I'm working on those also. So I'm just going to keep tapping it because I want to be able to recycle that, reuse it, and it costs money. So don't waste it. Okay. So then I would just set it. I usually set it upside down on a cup. That way, if there is any liquid in it, it can drain down and come out, and it's not sitting down here where it pools and collects all of the glitter in one area. Okay. Last year when I did some, I can tell you that I did not have this glue and it was a pain. I used some different glitter paints, which you can use. Okay. Let me see if I can find one of them. So there is Glitterific, which is basically the glitter colors and the Donna sells these also on her website, onestroke.com. I poured these in, but whatever they're in, they tend to slide out. So I'd have to redo them. So it took me a couple of times. Some of you saw my ornaments from last year. This is a plastic ornament from Dollar Tree. I did the same thing. I just used a different glitter. It is more of a gold tint to it. Okay, so it really depends on what you're putting on it, what color. You can see the difference in those two colors. Okay, so same thing, opened it up, poured it in, and rolled it around. So I put the glue in there first. I told them earlier you could use clear transparent Elmer's. I would thin it with water in a little cup to do that one. Question? Or a statement?
Lillian wants to know how the glitter is adhering, but
Okay, so Lillian, I poured in first the Glitter It by Beacon. You can find it on Amazon and Walmart.com. Okay, it's a real thin liquid. You can see it here. It's like a thin down super glue is what it makes me think of. It's literally as thin as water. Okay, I rolled it on the inside. So that's what I just finished showing, and I don't have another one over here that I can do. Well, maybe I do. I've got an iridescent one. Well, I don't want to waste that one. Okay, so anyway, pour it in, dump out the glue, and then I used the funnel, added my glitter, rolled it around, and now I'm going to leave this upside down to dry so that any liquid, if there is still any in there, it doesn't collect in the bottom of the ornament. It's going to fall into the little cup. So hopefully that answers that for you. Okay, it's just a real fun, easy way to do it. Okay, we're good?
good.
All right, awesome. Awesome. So just, like I said, as far as your FolkArt multi-surface colors, they have a sheen in them, okay? They have a sealer, okay, that gives them that sheen. Sorry, I said that wrong. Buy these from Donna. She is a small business just like myself, and she sells some different kits. She also has specials, as I said earlier, on her Facebook page, which is Donna Dewberry's official one-stroke group. There's different one-stroke groups out there, but that is hers, okay? And she has specials like right now I think they're on there every day, but usually twice a week they do lives. They have specials on packets, paint kits, all different types of things. So it's one way to get your collection started, okay? All right, so then let's, I showed you how to do leaves. I showed you how to do buds and the flowers. So let's go to this guy over here. And what I need to do now is, and Teresa told me I could choose whichever product I wanted to do. What I do is do the comma strokes. Sometimes I will outline. Like here I added the treasure gold for the inside of the rose beds, and I need to show you those. I did down my center vein. I did one side of the leaves. I did center vein, kind of waved it on the outside. So it depends on whether you want that, that much gold on it. Here's another one that I decided to do stamens coming out from the middle, some dots. I outlined it. And I'm not done with this one. I just noticed I have a couple of leaves that are not there. So not outlined, okay? So you can add as much of that as you want. Okay, so the gold is Treasure Gold, another plaid FolkArt product that Donna sells on her website. I believe they used to only have the gold and the silver, and probably 6, maybe 8 months ago, I don't remember exactly how long, they came out. They're still called Treasure Gold, but there's different colors. So now they have pink zircon. This one is the platinum or the silver, the gold. This one is called blue quartz. And this one is called light amethyst. Okay, so they're a pearly look to them. So Teresa, I'm gonna go with the blue on your blue ornament. And I'm probably gonna come in and accent with some of that silver or the platinum, okay? Now, I'm going to shake it just enough to get some in the lid. And yeah, I'm going to use out of my lid because it's my jar. you may want to pour it out on your palette. Okay, so you can take a liner brush, or we have a couple of different brushes I can use and show you. You can use both of them. These are our Kolinsky, and normally I don't use Kolinsky in acrylics. I use it for my fired product. But this is the 3600, the number 2 liner. This one is the 5000 number 2. So I'm going to show you, and the difference between them, I think you can see those. Not much difference other than the liner doesn't have as many hairs in it. It's slightly longer. The round brush is going to have more hairs in it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is do some comma strokes. So I'm going to use the round, and I'm just going to, can you see that, Bert? Am I still? Okay. I think I'm on camera. It's kind of a tacky type of a product because it is a metallic. So you kind of have to work that color into it. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and just start adding where I think I want some bling. So a common stroke is just a press, pull, and you start lifting and start just gently turning the brush ever so, not hardly any, and get that tail on it. Okay, so I'm going to add one here. So you can kind of be creative, and you don't forget you got to leave room for some jewels, but there's always room for jewels, right? Okay, so I'm going to go here. So I'm going to use my scrolls that are in my bling kind of to tell me where I want to put these. Press, pull, lift, and you notice that I'm doing my outside ones first, and I'm doing most of them in groups of 3, and then I do my center. So those of you that did the paste with me, similar, do our doofers here, I call them. So I did the 2 outside, and then this one I actually did the center first and then the outside, but same principles. You know, that's what I'm doing, is adding that as a filler in the background. Okay, so since I'm on the top, I'm going to kind of run around on this side. That way I can set it in a cup. So now I'm going to do some on the inside of my beadwork. Press, pull, lift. Maybe do one here and here. And it's all to your liking. So you can see how that round brush, and again, that's the 5000 number 2. Make sure that you clean that immediately, rinse it out, wipe it on a paper towel so that you make sure you've got that color out. I'm going to switch the brushes and show you how you, now, those of you that do my fired product, do not use the same brush for your fired and your non-fired, because most of you do not clean your brushes well enough. And if any of this non-fired product gets into your kiln, yes, it will burn off, but it also leaves a residue and it can cause blemishes on your work. Okay, so I would set a separate set of brushes aside for your acrylic work. Okay, you see, those are almost exactly the same, just a different brush. One's a liner, one is a round. Okay, any questions, Bert? A lot of times I will hold by the jewels in case that way I don't get my fingers in something. Say again, I'm sorry.
Janine wants more of Donna's information added on, but we'll do that later.
Janine Stillman?
Wise.
Okay. Once again, yeah, Bert put it up in the comments. You can scroll up. It's onestroke.com, O-N-E, so www.one stroke, STROKE.com is Donna's website. And like I said, please purchase from your small businesses. It's the only way we stay open with this crazy virus. I do not sell these products. I'm just endorsing Miss Donna. She has been very gracious, and I consider her a friend. So I told her I can't go live on her page. You have to be, I just stuck my finger in one. You have to be an elite, I believe, with her before you can post on her page. And I am level 1 certified, but I am not an elite. Okay, see how I just kind of tuck those in around those pearls? Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to do, and I like to try to find a place to anchor my hand. It also helps me steady. But isn't that pretty? All right, we'll put a few more on the top here because I want to leave room. And you have to kind of tilt this to see the shimmer, but it's like a pearlized metallic. There may be a better word for it, but that's what it looks like to me. And you can even come back with some gold. I did that on one of them and I don't have it here. I've got names on everything, so I did get the right ornament to the right person. I'm going to add one more right here. And sometimes I overdo it, but it just gives it character. Okay, so you can see the top of that one. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if I can change that light. Kind of see that. I'll turn it around. All right, so Teresa Maynard, if you're out there watching, this is your ornament. It's probably for her. She is a blue person. She loves blues. Anytime I post anything, she's like, is that for me? Okay, so I'm gonna set this one down and let it dry. Okay. And somebody is calling the company phone. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to show you centers, okay, of these flowers. So let me get my palette back over here. Since those are dry, we'll tuck this one out of the way. And now I'm going to use, Donna has what she calls her scruffy brushes. They're like a short, kind of push it down and abuse it in your hand. Fan it out is what you're looking to do, okay? And I'm going to grab some of the light green, the citrus green, and thick it, and then I'm going to pounce it into the brush. And of course, on the glass, it takes a little bit to get it to build up. So sometimes you may have to go back twice because of the way we're putting this on. Now you could put yellows in there. I'm just doing some green, 2 tones of greens, and I usually load half of it in the light green, half in the dark. Oops, that's my finished one. Don't want to do that one. I think everything's dry, hopefully. And just stipple it on. Did you see what I did? I just put my dark green in my light green. That's okay. It looks good. All right, so now you know why I do multiples, because I can get some of that off of there. Go back and do all of my centers because everything else is dried. All right, so production line is what you're basically doing. How long have we been on, Bert?
Almost 2 hours.
What?
Or almost an hour.
Oh, really? Has it been that long? Oh my gosh, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I didn't realize we were on that line. I wasn't going to stay on very long.
Teresa Gatton wants to know how you price them.
That's a good question. I'm doing the small ones for 13, a medium size for 15, and the large ones for 18. It really all depends on how much you have invested in the ornaments. I try to go after after Christmas and get them when they're cheaper. But right now, because of COVID this year, I'm going to tell you, there is not squat in the stores. I had a heck of a time just finding some. So I ended up getting clear ones and then went to this glitter method on the inside because I couldn't find the frosted ones that I like. I couldn't find any pretty colored ones. So it was very difficult. So I think that would play a lot into it. You're using minimal amount of paint as far as that goes. Another question?
Phyllis Ramsey wants to know what the pearl-looking beads on the ornaments are.
Okay, so Phyllis, you probably joined us later. Let me make sure I don't have any other ones I need to put this on, and then I'll review that again. Okay, so rinse that brush out. Wipe it out on your paper towel. Okay, so what I did, so these are from the craft store, okay? And I cut these apart and placed them on there. So here's what are you laughing at?
Chris wants to know how you ship them safely.
Chris, actually this year I went and Amazon and I found a few boxes at Hobby Lobby that were 50 off, but I ordered some boxes and some tissue paper and then some of that shredded like craft paper, and I'm going to put those in a box, and then it's going to go into another. I don't believe last year when I shipped in any of them, I didn't see, nobody came back to me and said anything was broken, so I got lucky. And I'll stand behind it. If something happens and it breaks, you just let me know and I'll send you a new one. That's why I said these are so fragile. I even cut my finger on one of them. I was putting the jewels on and it must have had a hairline crack in it and I didn't see it. And it literally just fell into pieces. And this is extremely thin compared to, these are not as thin, these larger ones, they're not as thin glass. It's a thicker glass. So I caution you on these unless you're going to hand deliver them. So back to the jewels. We'll review that just real quickly and you may be able to see the darker ones. So I take these and I cut them apart and then I peel them and put them on there. They have a sticky backing on them. Okay. So let me see if I have, so I want to do one with the snowflakes also. Okay. So this is actually an iridized ornament. When you're looking, you may not be able to see that on camera, but it does have like a mother of pearl look to it. Okay. So you would take these and cut them apart, try to make, like I said, most for your money. And then they peel and stick. I did not stick these all on by hand, by no means. There's no way you'd ever get your money's worth out of them. And I started doing these to, I gave away 2 years ago, I think it was. Maybe it was a year ago, I don't know. Our glass group, fired glass group here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I did these and gave them away to each one of the members at the Christmas party. So that's what started the whole craze. And then everybody started asking, how do you do those? And it was born from there. So these are just on a sticky backing, and sometimes they'll stick to you. And then I like to start all of these at the top and build my design from there. Question?
Debbie wants to know how you do the Rosebud Debbie Keller.
Debbie, okay. I'll do that on maybe this one, okay? Let me get this on here. So you put as much of this on as you want, okay? And sometimes you got to be careful because sometimes I just noticed I knocked one of these little jewels off of the strip and they stick, let me tell you. They're sticking to my nails. I don't know if I can get that little guy. And I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. So that's how you put those on. Whether it is, I was going to get that one. Okay. All right. So these are some other type of ornaments, which I only found one color, a burgundy color this year when I was shopping. If you wanted to do, actually, this is a matte finish. This is a shiny finish. So those of you that have done the paste ornaments with me, I tend to do them on the matte because I can draw with the chalk and I know exactly where my flower is going to be. Okay, so there's your flower. And then I can say, okay, I'm going to have a leaf here and another leaf here, and maybe some small ones coming off of that. So anyway, you can't do that on this. What's this? I mean, if you scrape it really hard, yes, you can. But so all of you that took the paste, the ones that you have shiny and matte in the same container when you buy them, use your shiny ones to do your acrylics. That's what I came up with. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to show you. This is another sticker, and I was so happy when I found these again. This is Christmas paper craft. Again, I got them 50 off. Okay, not every sticker will work because don't get too big because they won't bend. You're working on a round surface. Okay, I used this one with my paste, but I thought, oh well, I'll just use this with the acrylics also. I can do it. So they're a little harder and daintier to peel off of there, but they are sticky. They've already got the jewel. So you could place these on there. And I think what I'm going to do is just do some white flowers on that one. So leave enough room for your flowers. Space them apart. Okay. And you could use the white ones also. Okay. Maybe you only have flowers and not leaves. Doesn't matter. Was Luann out there today? She watching?
Anything posted from her, but
she's always watching.
Don't mean she didn't out there.
Okay, so when I did my paste ones, I used it as the center. And then I just randomly put some in the background. But just imagine this could be done with your acrylics the same way, which is what I'm going to show you. And then I'm probably going to get off of here and let you guys get back to enjoying your Sunday, okay? All right, somebody wanted to see a rosebud, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so just make sure. If you have problems where these don't want to stick, I've got a couple of them. So I'll just put a dot of that clear Elmer's underneath them. You could use super glue if you wanted, but just a dot of glue to get them going, okay? All right, so let's go back to, hopefully this pink is still fresh. I'm going to dampen my brush again, blot it on a paper towel, and we're going to do a rosebud. So, oops, I forgot. I got to get on camera. And then I need to show you how to detail the designs. Okay, so I'm just going to try to work some of that up. It's been sitting here a while. Add a little bit of white, back and forth. This is a 12 square shader or flat. Okay, light to the outside because I want it at the end. So I'm going to do, let's do one here. So you can add a little ruffle to it if you want. Okay. And then you can come in and just press and slide. You can add a second row to that if you choose to. Am I on screen?
No,
almost off screen. Okay, let me go over here and do another one. My color is getting a little thick. Sorry about that, guys. I get to painting and I forget to look up and make sure I'm on camera because I'm trying to show you the product down here also. Okay, so let's just assume we're going to put one over here. So you can do this, which is a closed C stroke, or you can do the wave, like the ripple, and then start over here on the side and come up. And then you can start out here again and come up. Okay, and I'll show you some outlining techniques. Where's my rosebud here? So here's a couple there. Add the calyx. I added treasure gold to the centers just to give it a little bling. Okay, so we'll set this one aside and let it dry. And now I need to show you how I accent and detail with the treasure gold. I showed you with the blue, but I'll show you with the gold also so that you kind of have an idea. And once again, I'm going to use out of my lid. I'm just going to shake it for a second just to get some on the lid. And I can tell you, I've been using out of this bottle for probably 2 years now, and I still have half a jar. So it goes a long ways. That's why I usually leave it in here as opposed to pour it out. That way I don't waste any. Okay, so if I wanted to detail this one is not spoken for. So you can come in with that treasure gold. And again, this is a FolkArt plaid product that you can get on Donna's website, onestroke.com. And like I said, she has a Facebook page also, and I can link that page afterwards. My husband can't do it because he's on his account. I like to go down one side of the smaller leaves, and then I have a tendency to put a little curl on the end. This also makes it very Victorian, I guess would be a good word. You could put side veins on it, but when you're doing your ripple stroke, M stroke, or your one stroke, you kind of have your veins that are in there, okay? And I showed you on one of the ornaments, you can do all the detailing on the petals if you want, or on this one, I did not put any, so you can see the difference in them. So it really is depending on how much bling you want on it. So let's bling this guy up. So I'm just going to come out here, and I'm trying to stay on the tippy toes. Now, the bad part about the treasure gold, it's beautiful gold, but when you get lighter with it, sometimes you have to go over that a couple of times on this particular surface, okay? Because it tends to, it's slick. It doesn't want to stick. Am I still on camera, Bert? Okay.
Kind of
almost off.
Getting done, close to being off again.
Cool. Sorry, I got my brush in my mouth. Not in my mouth, but on the handle. Okay, let me move these over. All right. And once again, when you're doing this, you're going to have to let it dry on one side before you go to the other. That's why we've got multiples here. I'm going to turn it around. So I'm just trying to be on just my tippy toes, I call it, on just the very tip of the brush to get a finer line. It's a thicker product. I can't get a fine line that I can with my ceramic or glass color. I guess you could take it out and thin it a little bit if you wanted, but then you're gonna not have as much gold. So I just try to stay on the tippy toes. And even though I've got, you know, a silver cap, silver or the clear jewels, the gold still looks nice. I could have and should have used that pink zirconium treasure gold there that's in the pink color. I haven't used that one yet. Maybe I'll do some of the comma strokes with that. So you can pull those fine lines in, then you can come in and just use the tip of the brush for some dots around the center. You could use, we have the dot makers that we use, a stylus. Donna has a little, looks like a candy kiss. I don't know. I think that's what she calls it, is a kiss tool that she uses. You can use the tip of a toothpick to make dots with. Now I'm not going to put those lines on this bud because these are open. They're from the center. This is on the back side of that petal, so you don't want those there, okay? All right, so there's one with it. And then let's do this one. I need to match this one for an order that I've got 8 ordered. So I just did a little comma stroke on that center. And then I just came in and did my strokes. And this one is not complete yet, but I'll just do a couple on it so you can see. Press, pull, lift, using my pinky to anchor. Come up so you get the tail, the nice fine tail. Press, pull, lift, lift, lift to get your tail. Okay. All right. So let me show you how to put some of the jewels on the background. I think that's the only thing we haven't done. My little tricks to doing that. Let me rinse that color out. Set this aside so I don't mess it up. So that one that I was showing you, these are flats. Those of you that joined later, this is a 3 and a 4 inch flat. And I believe these were, I think these were at Michael's. I think both Hobby Lobby and Michael's have them. Okay. They're just plastic. And I've rolled the same thing as I did on these glass ones. Okay. All right. So let me find one. This one's done. This one I used, let's see if I've got it here. It's like a topaz-y looking. Okay, so it's like a champagne color, all right, because I wanted to stick with that gold. So, I mean, you can dress it up and don't be afraid to put the gold and the silvers together. A lot of people do that, okay. These are more of a irid that look really nice, and they'll look really nice on the ones, you know, on these guys, because it's going to pick up any color you put it on. It'll pick up that color. And then we got the pearls. The pearls is what I used on the little babies. Okay, the very delicate. So I used the smaller pearls on that one. Question?
There's a comment. Somebody said Joanne's had the flat ones in glass.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about them. I think of fabric, and then until I get an ad by email or something, I don't think about it. All right, so all you need is a toothpick. Now, these are just have a sticky backing on each one. If you're doing these rows, those are single. Those are single. I had some here. What did I do with them? Okay. If you're using these are the ones. Nope, these are all single too. I have some that are like strips. I guess I put them away, or I used them all last night. Those aren't either. Okay, if you do, guys, what I'm trying to say is if there's a strip that connects all these, you need to cut it crossed. Okay, don't cut it with the strip. You need to cut through the strip so you're able to lift each one off singly. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. And I don't see mine out here, so I guess I used them all last night. Okay, so I just used the toothpick, go underneath, get the sticky on there, put it where I want it, and just slide it off. Now, of course, this one's not complete, but I'm going to just put a few of these on here so you can see it. And sometimes they fly around on my table. I am using like a foam, it's almost like a shelf liner, and that helps things not to slip around on me personally. Okay. I'll put one more on here. There he goes. He's off and running. I guess I'm going to put more leaves and stuff on this one, but you can see how that looks. So you would put all of your gold on there. Basically, you're going to do all your painting first, and then the jewels are last if you're just doing the single jewels. If you are doing the scrolls, these, which are these guys, the larger ones, you need to put those on first so you can tuck your design in and around them. Okay. So that's how those work. All right. And this little rosebud that's here, somebody was asking about a rosebud earlier. This is the same stroke as I did on the leaves, just that press, pull, lift, the wedge stroke, just in the pink colors. And then I added the calyx around it. And let me see if one of these is dry. This was our demo. Okay, so on this guy, now I'm getting jewels all over my fingers. Okay, it's being stubborn. Get back on there. All right, let's move those out of the way. So if you're going to, way too many things. Just use a liner brush, the same liner you were doing for your dampen your brush, for your comma strokes, your gold, your treasure gold. I'm just kind of mixing my two greens together, and I'll pull in a stem to there. And then acrylic is just a, it's like a comma stroke, press, pull, lift, and then come out. I'm going to have one kind of off to the side here, coming from the center, and one over here. See, add that little tail. It's a nice little touch. And then you want to do a couple coming off, like hanging down. So this is what holds all the petals in place. It's called the calyx. Okay, so that's how I did that. And then with the treasure gold, I would come in here and add the little dots in the center. You didn't have to, but it's just something I did. Okay. All right. Do we have any others? All right. So let's do a couple of single things. I still have to finish more blue on this guy up here as far as comma strokes, but I'll show you how I'll go in. I'm going to use the pearls because I did pearls with the swirl. Okay, now this is a larger ornament. The package that I bought had 3 sizes of the pearls. So I'm going to kind of just put it up here and say, do I want the larger one? And then you have to look at your rounded surface. Is that going to actually sit down on there and have enough stick that it's not going to come off? You can see that it's larger than the ones that are on that strand. This is the same size. So this is the one I'm going to pick to go with it. Okay, that way it just blends in with what's there. Once again, these are singles, so I'm just going to use my toothpick, go underneath, and I'm pretty sure all of my commas are dry, but just in case, I'm not going to touch them. Apply a little bit of pressure. So I'm just taking the toothpick and going underneath. Like I said, right now I don't have all my commas on, which I did that one with that blue quartz. It's a treasure gold color. I think I have all the colors. There may be another one. I'm going to leave that for some commas. I'll put one here. So you would just go in and fill in your background. You know, you may only want to put one flower on your bulb, and you could just have the little jewels all over the rest of it. You don't have to do it as busy as what I've got. I'm actually going to put one inside here to make it look like it's on there. And I can put these on and then put my comma strokes around it if I want. Okay. I hope this helps. You found it useful. This is, believe it or not, this is how I relax. And I come back here to my little workstation and kind of get lost in the time. As my husband will tell you, yesterday, we didn't fix supper because I was back here doing my thing. And before I know it, as just with this live, you know, the time passes so quickly. All right, so I posted these on my page yesterday. If you're interested in any, the prices are out there. You can message me if you want any particulars, if you want me to just do my thing. I just let it talk to me and tell me what to do. Once I get one element on there, put another, and that's how I build it, guys. But I will make you a pattern. I probably won't be till later tonight because I need to get some of these painted and drying. But you can see, I think that's dry. So you're just adding a few on there, okay? All right. And I'm just going to go ahead since I'm here on this one, and I'm going to put my comma strokes on since I'm here. Okay. So I'm just using that Treasure Gold. I keep forgetting the name. Blue Quartz is the name. So you can see I'm just going to turn this one around.
Debbie Keller wants to know, do you put a sealer on them when you're done?
The multi-surface paints have a sealer in them, so no. You know, last year, you know, Mod Podge has a spray sealer, I guess you could use, but you shouldn't have to. These, as you can see, they're shiny. I've never put a sealer on them. Okay. But if you like to do that, go for it. It's just another added expense. And these seem to adhere really nicely to the surface. So I'm good with it. Okay, so see, I'll have to let that dry and then come back and do some more. Okay. I'll probably add, and like I said, you don't have to put anything on the centers. You know, this one I put a Treasure Gold. So I may go back and put a highlight of silver on some of those. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing. Let's move this one out of the way so you can see this. So I'm going to go over here and I can do the same thing. I can do press, pull, lift. All right. And I'm going to stop here, guys. My husband was generous enough to help with questions and stuff, and football is on, so I need to let him get back to doing that. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. And I'd love to see what you guys do. And I will be shipping ornaments tomorrow. Okay. All right. Any last questions, Bert?
Are you shading the blue flower in the center more?
In the center, like this center? Who's asking that?
Joanne Rose.
Joanne, are you talking about the very center or are you talking about the petals? If you could type that in. I'm not going to on any of it. Could you? Yes, but you know, because I had, what color did I use? I used Prussian blue and white. Okay. And it did the center blue color for me when I blended it on my palette. So I didn't have to add a third color or any kind of shading. Okay. The purple ones that I did are Violet Pansy.
It's just petals.
Petals. I'm not. I know you could. I wouldn't do the floating with the floating medium or the blending gel, because I think any excess moisture on that could start to pull some of that off. I would just detail it with my Treasure Gold or whatever color. You could use black if you're going to do black. I like to put the metallics on there. It gives it more bling. Okay.
The petal, the bigger one. I don't know what the.
Say that again. The petals on the bigger one.
Yeah.
So could you shade with? I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, you could float some color on there, but I would be very cautious. I'm going to dampen my brush. I'm going to blot it, and I'm just going to barely pick some color up. I don't know if you can see that. So I don't have anything else on my brush but that. And yeah, you could come in behind here. I would have done it prior to doing my center. But I'm just kind of up on the corner.
Oh, so the large blue one, but
same principle on blue, purple, whichever. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for and how much. Like I said, this is just my quick and easy, and I'm looking for something that's quicker, you know. So I just took some water and I'm softening that personally, I can tell you just from doing this one, I wouldn't do it. It's just my personal preference. I mean, but if you're on wood or something, yes, absolutely. On canvas, I do. And you could use the floating medium to do that with. So once again, I want to make sure you guys know that this is FolkArt Multi-Surface Paint. This is a product that Donna Dewberry has on her website. The pink ones were baby pink and berry wine. Okay. And then I'm using the treasure gold, and the treasure gold comes in different colors. The pink zirconium, the blue quartz, also is the light amethyst, and then the silver, which is the platinum. Okay. So onestroke.com, O-N-E, spell out onestroke.com is Donna's website. She has all these products on there. She has kits. So please check them out. And she has a YouTube channel with hundreds and hundreds of videos on all different types of things. So check those out. You'll never probably ever watch them all. I haven't, but she has them on everything. So you can just go into her channel and be sure and subscribe, click the bell to get notifications. Sometimes she does lives on there, and she is a great artist and has taught me a lot along the way. All right, I think, was there something else I was supposed to do? I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. And like I said, if you're ordering and you would like a paste ornament, those are on the header of my page. Here is some examples. And I do some holly ones too. So anyway, you can go back through my photos on my page and look at things. And you can see on these, see, I just put one jewel and then filled in a lot of the background. I didn't do the common strokes because I used these doofers. But the same principle applies if you're painting it with acrylics or you're doing it with my low fire, no fire piping paste. Okay.
What is the name of the product on the pearl? What did it say? On the pearl scrolls.
On this one here, who's asking?
Eva Sorrell.
Eva, if you're asking about the common strokes or swirls, if that's what you're calling them, on this one, this is that treasure gold by Plaid.
This is the pearl scroll. So it makes you
you're talking about the stickies, which is on this one, and I need to watch my fingers. Hold on a second. So you're talking about those pearls. I believe it was Paper Studio, but let me look. So this happens to be, this is by Darice, D-A-R-I-C-E, which is one company. Trying to get the glare off of that. The pearly ones, I believe, were Paper Studio. And both of these, I believe, can be found at both Hobby Lobby and Michael's, or you can just do a search online for the Paper Studio and put bling or papercraft. These are scrapbooking. Okay, so here's the pearls. It's the same pearls that are on here, whichever one it is. But anyway, yeah, that one there. So it's Paper Studio. This is theirs. And then I'm just cutting those apart and putting on what I want to put on. So this one was a blue one. It was just this little part. Here's a purple. Here's that larger blue. These are the flat ornaments. These are plastic on these two. The rest of them are glass. Okay. All right, guys, I will go back through the questions and see if I need to answer anything else. And I appreciate you joining me. Sorry, I've been on here for a while, but hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something. And share, tag me on your post if you're doing some ornaments. I'd love to see what you come up with. Okay. All right, you guys have a Merry Christmas. And I will see you next Tuesday on my page for Fired Product. Let me go back to my other screen 1 second. Okay, so I will see you Tuesday night, and we are doing glass products, which is our fired glass products that are done in a kiln. So those of you that are watching that are acrylic painters, it will have nothing to do with that. but it's on my product that I sell. Okay, this was just a little free thing to give to you guys as my Christmas gift today. So I hope you enjoyed it. All right, I will see you guys later. All right, bye.